tariffs on automobiles. Your response?
Oh, well, I've been opposed to them, been an outspoken opponent. I have introduced 2 bills to try to throw some cold water on this. It makes no sense to throw a 25% tariff on our friends and allies, and that's what it would be. For somehow national security reasons, I don't buy into that. And so Senator Alexander and I have a bill, Senator Portman and I have a bill to try to stop that and try to put the brakes on this, because it has the potential of costing a lot of American jobs and a lot of Alabama jobs.
What do you say to folks who are really skeptical, though, of how China's economics are taking advantage of the U.S. as a U.S. worker?
Yeah, I think that's very serious. It has nothing to do with the automobile tariffs. That's a whole different trade war that we're looking at. Certainly, China's been a rogue nation, and they deserve and they need to have some heat put on them. But I think you do it in a different way. I think you get our friends and allies to help us with that and do it strategically. Right now, we're in a game of chicken.
How do you get them to do that?
Well, I think instead of kicking them in the shins like we've done over the last few months, you try to put, China has also taken advantage of them as well as us. And so I think you get that group together and you go and you start renegotiating and you look at it things one at a time.
Those renegotiations are going to be underway this week. David Malpass, the Under Treasury Secretary, is leading those negotiations with the small Chinese delegation. In terms of an end goal, I talk to folks on both sides of the aisle who say, we don't know what President Trump is trying to. Well, so what should the end goal be then?
Look, everyone would like to see fairer trade with China. Everyone would like to see China stop stealing our intellectual property. Yeah. There's no question about that. But right now, with a game of chicken or poker, as the case may be, when you're just raising yourself and raising by billions of dollars, and then the other one to retaliate, that's not making any sense. There doesn't seem to be any strategy or coherent strategy about what's going on. Everyone wants to see fair trade. I just think the way they're doing it is hurting so many people, and in the long run, we're going to lose a lot of markets over there if we're not careful.
How does this impact businesses in your state?
Well, it's huge impact on businesses in Alabama. We're a manufacturing state.
Right.
We export a lot. It's the retaliatory tariffs that are really going to kill us. Our soybean farmers and poultry farmers, everyone is hurting right now.
USDA's $14 billion, is that going to do anything?
No, it's not. That's not help. I mean, that's going to...
What is it then?
Well, first of all, those farmers don't want a handout. They don't want aid. They want trade. And so this is a one-time deal, and it only talks to the farmers. It doesn't talk to the transportation folks. It doesn't talk to the other people that are also going to be affected by the soybean drop and others. So I think we have to be very careful. What I'm most concerned about in this was not the short-term effect, but we may be losing markets. So much of our products go to China. China's going to start looking for other markets if we're not careful, and this war continues.
Final question on trade, then I want to talk about some other stuff. But with regards to trade specifically, Senator, a lot of economists say the U.S. has the upper hand. They're looking at some of the economic data with China, and they see decline. Do you buy that?
I don't buy it right now. I'm seeing people hurting right now. And my manufacturers in Alabama are hurting with the steel and aluminum tariffs. And, the other thing about that, there are so many exemptions for some of these tariffs that are being posed, right, that the administration is picking winners and losers with no transparency about who the winner is and who the loser is right now. And I think that's a real serious problem.
A conservative argument, if I do say so.
It is.
Let me ask you about Judge Kavanaugh. Mm-hmm. You going to support him?
I don't know yet. I haven't met with him.
What are you waiting for?
I'm going to wait for the hearing. We are doing every day. We're meeting and we're reading and trying to look at the documents we have. I've got some real concerns that we're not going to see his full record, and I can't quite understand why that's the case. When the president nominated him, he knew he had a very extensive record, and there's no rush to do this. I don't understand why we're pushing this forward when he's got such an extensive record. And so I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to wait and watch the hearings. And then I'm going to try to meet with him as soon as I can, huddle with the staff and make a decision.
I know you don't want to, litigate in terms of private conversations that you have behind closed doors. But in terms of what you're hearing from your constituents, what are some of the issues that they're most concerned about?
Oh, they're the usual checklist of issues. You've got the people that are for Kavanaugh or pro-business, and you've got a certain women
concerned about.
Well, I haven't talked about the issues that I'm concerned about because I want to talk to him about those. And I don't want to get boxed into the most important ones because you never know what's going to happen in a hearing. You never know what I'm going to see and what documents I do get. So rather than talking about those publicly right now, I want to just wait and see how things go.
I got to be honest, the news in the past 24 hours in this town has been
stunning.
A lot. Yeah, stunning.
It's been stunning.
Should that impact the pace of Judge Kavanaugh's timetable to get confirmed? Paul Manafort, Cohen these investigations?
I think it should. This is my personal view, but I think it should.
Why?
And you couple that with the fact that we're not getting the documents. This gives everybody an opportunity to let's just pause and see how this plays out a little bit. What happened yesterday was absolutely an extraordinary day. And on top of that, you've got the Supreme Court nominee that could very well see a Trump case before them. I just think that everybody needs to catch a breath about this and get these documents. I have been complaining about the lack of documents. Chairman Grassley of the Senate Judiciary requested documents that they said it would take until October. Well, let's get those documents. And there is no rush to do this. We have had periods in our history when we've had 8 Supreme Court justices. There's no rush. Let's move.
Do you think you should wait until the conclusions of the Mueller investigation?
I don't know if you can wait until the conclusions of the Mueller investigation because we don't know when that's going to be. I will say I believe Bob Mueller and his team is moving very expeditiously. I've been there. I've been a prosecutor. I've been in the grand juries. I've seen how these very complicated cases can go on for a long time. I am being very impressed with the fact that he has moved as expeditiously as he can. And I think he's going to continue to do that.
I think this is a really important point because folks outside of Washington who are trying to price in their portfolios the political implications of the unrest and the tumult that we've seen.
Right.
You're saying, and your colleagues, not just you, are saying, hey, take a deep breath in terms of these confirmation processes and wait to play out. I mean, so is that sort of another takeaway from the unrest and the tumult that we saw yesterday?
I think it is. I think everybody needs to just, but again, I want to make sure it's not just that. It is a combination of that plus the issues of the documents. Give everybody a chance to look at these documents and the issues that are contained in those and not hide those documents while some of this else plays out a little bit. And we'll see how it goes. I don't think you can play this out too long, but I think for a period of time we need to see how the dust settles.
Senator Doug Jones, a Democrat from Alabama.